All right, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Blind View on Becca's World. We're very happy to have you here. And here is our host, Miss Rebecca Meadows.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight for another exciting episode of The Blind View here on Becca's World. And I'm so excited because tonight we're back on YouTube, the first time in several years. So welcome to our YouTube audience and our audience on X, our audience on Facebook, our audience on Rumble. It's so glad to have you all. Good to have you all here watching us. If you want to email us, you can email me directly at beccameadows76@gmail.com. I'm the host of the show, and my co-hosts Brandon and Anya are here tonight. And we have a special guest joining us. Our guest's name is John. How is everybody tonight?
Doing great.
Pretty good.
Okay, I'm going to let John go ahead and
Hey,
get
what's
started
up, Becca?
introducing
Doing all
himself.
right. Doing all right.
Yeah, I wanted to let John go ahead and introduce himself and start talking about cryptocurrency because he knows about it. And I know I don't know much about it. My 22-year-old son has been talking to me about crypto for a few years, and I keep telling him, no, son, that's a scam. No, son, no. But maybe John can educate us more. So take the floor, John.
To be fair, there are a lot of scams because we're dealing with real money here. So there are a lot of scammers and a lot of scammy people. Take a look at FTX back in 2022, and you'll get a good sense of exactly what the heck happened. And if you have
Or Mount Gox before that.
Oh yeah, 2000. What was that? 13? Oh dear Lord.
OG here.
That still hasn't been totally resolved. They're still working on the court cases for that, the payouts and everything. I actually got into crypto just after that that whole thing happened because I had heard about it before that, but I thought this is a scam and there's no way they're ever going to let that, like the government is ever going to let something like that exist. And so I dismissed it as a scam in like 2011 or 2012, and boy, was that a mistake.
Well, let me just tell you, John. Let me just kind of jump in here real quick. I don't mean to make the flow of the conversation awkward or anything, but
no, by all means, please do.
Let me just kind of share with you quickly. I also made a mistake, but in a different way than you, because you know what I did? Let me tell you what I did, man. Dadgummit. I got into the ubiquitous Bitcoin, right? Everybody knows Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? But I know there are also several altcoins as well, with more, varying degrees of repute, right? But here's what I did. I got into Bitcoin at I bought one when it was just over $100, right? I rode that wave up to over $1,000, and I thought it was going to be a pump and dump. So I sold, and I was pretty happy with myself because I'm like, well, I 10x'd my investment. That's pretty good, right? But man, if I would have held on.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit more, like what particular currency you use and how did you come to using it? Like what motivated you? I know we've known each other for many years and you often talk to me about this and try to encourage me to get some, which I got into it for a little bit, but it's too complicated. I'm too technologically lazy. So just tell us and we'll ask you questions along the way.
Yeah, that's perfect. So I am personally a big fan of a currency called Monero, Monero, and it is an altcoin. It's not Bitcoin, but what I like about it and the reason that I primarily use it is because Bitcoin and other chains like it, like Ethereum and everything, are surveillance chains. So everybody with a connection to Google can literally look up your address. Like if you give them your address in a transaction or something, they can look up your address and see who you've paid in the past and how much you've paid them, how much you have in your bank account, your account, and then anything you spend in the future if they look at it again. And that I do not like that.
Well, but hold on though, John, because I want to point out here, just for anybody who may not know, I don't believe that coins like that were designed to be privacy intrusive. What you're referring to, right, is technically known as a public ledger, right? So they can't necessarily see what you got, but they can see how much you spent. And that was just a fundamental design, right? It was said that that was done for open, so that things were transparent and open, right? They didn't specifically build it to track you.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't specifically built to track you, but it was it was more of a consequence of the way that they designed it to begin with. Monero does not do that. So Monero's blockchain is completely encrypted, so you cannot see who sent what to who.
Which is really good, I think.
Well, right, and Monero. See, for me, what I always try to do is look at what is the point of this cryptocurrency, though, right? Like for instance, what do you think about this, John? And I don't mean to jump too far ahead, but I'm gonna zoom you right up here to right now here today. I've heard it said that at least for in the probably near future, 6 months, 9 months, a year, meme coins are going to be where a lot of the profits at. And I'm like, man, I hate meme coins, man.
Meme coins, we call them shit coins because they're total shit. This is real money we're talking about. Don't be playing around with this. So, crypto, like the way I use crypto, it is not like an investment or this plaything. It is real, honest to God wealth. And so you've got to keep that in mind. Would you spend your dollars on these like Pokemon cards or plushies or whatever to make a profit on them? No, you wouldn't. And the same thing with meme coins. You might make money on them, but there's a very good chance that you're just going to lose it all. So I would stay far, far, far away from those.
Oh, and at a fundamental gut level, I agree with you. I agree with you because, like I said, I always try to learn. Like maybe you can tell the people because I know about it from a business perspective, a market perspective, but maybe you can remind us all what is the function or the benefit of Monero.
The benefit is it's actual like money, so it's cash on the internet, so you can send it to anyone at any time for very, very low cost, as long as they have an internet connection and a device capable of receiving it. And
well, and I think it's also 1-to-1, right? It's a stable coin, right?
No, Monero is not a stable coin.
It's not 1-to-1. Okay.
Monero is free floating against all the other currencies.
Okay.
Can you say that again? You broke up there. I didn't catch the last word of that statement.
Oh, I was saying Monero free floats against other currencies. So it free floats against the dollar or the euro or Bitcoin, or it completely free floats by itself. It is not pegged to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's one thing that I would tell people is that I don't mind it. I'm still pretty young, but the crypto market, from my perspective, is very, very, very volatile. I mean, we are seeing some incredible strides. I think my perspective is that the crypto industry really is maturing quite a lot rather quickly. By that, what I'm talking about is we've already got a Bitcoin exchange traded fund, a Bitcoin ETF, and there are major, massive financial movers so I'm going to name drop here BlackRock, right? The BlackRock financial behemoth, which manages over $9 trillion or $9 billion anyway, is interested in cryptocurrencies. So this is not just some, some person and their little group of friends. No. We are seeing the industry mature a lot, I think. And so there is some coins are stable coin, what are called stable coins, right? You can jump in here, John. Those to my understanding are pegged to the US dollar. So for example, 5 of a stable coin would be worth $5, but others are not stable coins like Monero. So if it's a free floating coin, that coin may be worth more or less than the US dollar, right?
That's correct. So, and it really depends on what you got into crypto for. So if you get into crypto just looking to make more wealth in dollars or euros or something like that, you might want to go with these BlackRock ETFs or whatever. If you are a cypherpunk and really believe in the crypto anarchy, and this is a way to free people from the controls of governments and the central banks, these ETFs and everything are actually bad, because there's a saying in crypto, it's not your keys, not your coins. In other words, if you are not in control of your private key, which you get when you create a wallet, you don't actually own it. You are a what's the word? A for benefit of. They own it for you, and they give you the permission to use it, and they can take that permission away at any time. Look at FTX with the FTX collapse. Those people thought they owned crypto. They did not. They owned an IOU for crypto. And when FTX collapsed, they saw what that IOU was worth, and it wasn't worth shit.
Well, and that's right, and that's why I also believe more in, having your own local wallet. Like, I don't believe in hosted wallets. I believe more in having your own local wallet. It's very, very sad what's happened with, right, because these were people that were just, I think a lot of them probably did at least believe in the sort of cryptocurrency ethos like you're mentioning, and I'm one of those people too.
Well, I was gonna say, you guys jumped right into the depth of it, and Becca said she doesn't know pretty much anything about crypto, and I'm sure I don't know how many audience are out there. They probably don't know. How about you just make some kind of intro
Yeah, can you
for
tell us some of
people?
the
Yeah,
basics, John? 'Cause
yeah, just
I know nothing about what Brandon just asked you about, and I
yeah. I
want
mean, it could be
basics.
confusing for those who are there for here for the first time. So if you could
Yeah.
explain what it is and how it works, and et cetera, et cetera.
Like for example, I know, like, at one point the American dollar had gold backing it, right? So it gave the American dollar value. Well, if cryptocurrency doesn't have anything like gold or silver backing it, what makes it valuable?
Cryptocurrency is backed by mathematics, our fundamental universal mathematics that control all of our physics in the universe, and energy. So if you believe that energy and mathematics are fundamentally good backing for a currency, that's what it's backed by.
Wow, that's just mind blowing.
Yeah, but I would also say though it's not backed by any hard assets though, like gold or silver. But then again, neither is the U.S. dollar anymore.
Right.
Correct.
But
The
I,
US
I was
dollar is
trying
a
to just
fiat
figure out
currency.
what the real value is. Like, if you're investing in crypto, where is your money really going? What is it really going for? And how do you make profit on it? Like, what is bought or sold where you make profit?
So crypto, at least the way I see it, is crypto is money, right? So what I do with my crypto is I buy groceries with it. I buy soap with it. I buy pizza with it. I buy whatever I want with it, and it's money to me. So I use it in lieu of the US dollar. So instead of using the US dollar, when I possibly can, I use crypto as money, as an exchange for other items of value in my life.
Okay, so you go to the movie theater, they let you pay with crypto. You take a Lyft, they let you pay with crypto. You order something on Amazon, they let you pay with crypto. How does this work?
Gift
Like, I
cards.
can't understand it.
Currently, you can use gift cards for a lot of those
Oh.
big services. So Lyft or the AMC movie theaters or Domino's or whatever. You can buy those things with gift cards for the big retailers. But there are some retailers, small ones, mind you, but they will accept crypto directly and hold it themselves, and they will price their items directly in cryptocurrency.
Okay.
As
So
a
what it-
medium.
Well, and I think that cryptocurrency. See, Becca, I think you've got the right idea. I think that's where I kind of hope that's where we're headed as a nation, where cryptocurrency does become a more mainstream and common form of currency, so that yes, you could choose to pay for goods and services with crypto just the same way as you use dollars now. Now it's not. I wouldn't say that it's quite that easy yet, but I hope that we get there though.
And all that's really backing this cryptocurrency is just a theory.
Mathematics and energy. So literally, the production of energy in our lives is what backs it.
Well, you said something once to me that even your computer, if you have a powerful computer, if you have it on, it can make currency. It can make cryptocurrency in your garage or whatever, right?
That's correct. It's called mining.
Mining, yeah. Uh-huh.
And yes, your computer is solving extremely difficult math problems. I mean, extremely, extremely difficult math problems.
Yeah.
And the first person to solve that math problem gets rewarded with a little bit of crypto for solving it first.
But do you still think, John, that it's worth mining in 2024? See, I don't really think so. I mean, depending on what a person has, but I think that now, I mean, you need specialized ASIC hardware to do it now, right? I mean, or an extremely powerful computer. And I mean, given where, especially Bitcoin, because everybody knows Bitcoin, right? And again, I don't think we should limit ourselves to just a discussion of Bitcoin at all. But I mean, Bitcoin is around $100,000 now for one. What is it, $97,000, $98,000 for one Bitcoin last I looked? So I mean, that ship is kind of sold, I think.
Yes. So with Bitcoin and other cryptos like that, you have to have really specialized hardware. That's the great thing about Monero, is that you get you can mine it with your standard CPU. That's the whole point. It's decentralized enough where you can mine it with the computer you have sitting on your desk.
So Monero, it is still mined. Okay.
Yep, it is all CPU mined. In fact, they purposely make it to where you cannot use an ASIC.
Now let me throw another coin out though here for you, John, and see if you've heard of it, see what you think of it. What do you think of Chainlink? Have you heard of Chainlink?
I've heard of it. I've never used it. To my knowledge, it's a utility coin. And what I mean by utility coin is it has a purpose to link real world events like the outcome of horse races and stuff like that on chain. But I don't know much more about it than that.
See, but I think that's a worthwhile coin to look into and to consider. You know, I think Chainlink is good. I think Monero is good. I think even Ethereum is good.
Well, I'm like Becca. I'm sitting there thinking, like, my God, like, what mathematics, physics, like energy, like, I need something real. Like, I need something that I can touch, like, a piece of gold or something.
See, you ladies say that, but
sold on it at all. I'm still really hesitant and cautious.
You say that, but you got to realize your dollars in your wallet and your bank account aren't based on anything either.
True,
Exactly.
I thought that too.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
at
it's a
least I
plastic
know
card.
how to spend those, and I know those are more real to me than this crypto shit.
The dollars in your bank account are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. So if you have
whatever that means, whatever that means.
Yeah, but
we saw what happened with Hurricane Helene, right?
Who would put their faith in crypto when it's so unknown?
I would rather put my faith in crypto than the U.S. government.
Me too.
The U.S. government.
You guys are both men.
The U.S. government lies to you, and the other thing that backs the United States dollar is a gun. So they will. The U.S. government will kill you, or they want to kill you if you do not use their currency. They will point a gun at you and like
another good reason not to switch to crypto. Then another good reason not to switch to crypto.
But if you use crypto, then that hurts the government and will eventually make the government unable to exist.
Well, you say it hurts the government, but I would say I take your meaning. I think, but I would say the thing I like about crypto is that me and John, or me and Becca, or me and Anya could pay each other directly, and the government and the greedy banks would have no control over it, no knowledge of it, and nothing to do with it. I like that.
Same.
Yeah, I do too. And it's also appealing to me that knowing, like, let's say you have crypto currency of some sorts, and you don't have to carry anything with you. You don't have to depend on anything. You go to a different country, and then you have that freedom to access. All you have to have is internet and computer and the key in your head. Sounds like we're coming out
Well,
on a break, but
yeah,
we
yeah,
should
yeah.
definitely check it out from the other end
Ladies
of
and
it.
gentlemen, please stay with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Hi, it's me, Rebecca S. Meadows, the author, with my new book, Living on Borrowed Time, The Ravings of an Angry Survivor of Traumatic Brain Injury and Guardianship Abuse. It's available on Kindle Digital Download, Amazon Print on Demand, and on Audible. Please go check it out. And now, back to the show.
All right, we are back, and Anya, I would love to hear the rest of what you had to say, if you want to pick back up.
Oh, well, what I was basically saying, what's appealing to me about the cryptocurrency as a whole is the freedom that you have. You don't have to have anything physical with you when you're traveling. If you go to a different country or whatever circumstance might be, all you rely on is your head, your brain, your knowledge, your key. If you memorized your key, John can explain a little bit more about the key, because I don't know if it's clear to everyone. It's basically how you access your, I don't know, quote unquote account. Yeah.
Your
So
wallet.
yeah, your wallet. Thank you. Yeah, you access your wallet, and if you remembered, all you need to have is internet access and a device, like John was saying earlier, and that's all. And you are in charge of your own money from whatever part of the world you're in.
Wow, that's. I'm sorry, guys, but I still am personally, I'm still really hesitant to use cryptocurrency because I still like the tangible paper money I can feel in my wallet, the tangible plastic credit card in my wallet. You know,
But it's a card,
I
though. It's still a plastic card. It's not money, right?
yeah, but at least I know there's money in the account that's behind the card.
But
You
is
know,
there?
yeah, because
Or is there just an IOU for money?
it's because yes, because I don't have credit cards anymore. I canceled all my credit cards and when I paid them off, I canceled them and cut them up. And I told I never get one again. So the card I'm referring to is my debit card linked to my bank account. I really don't like credit, and that's kind of what this stuff sounds like. It's not real money.
But it is real money, and what's in your bank account is an IOU. So when you give your money to the bank, you are giving it to a third party, and the bank has every right in your. If you look in your actual like account documents, they have every right to refuse you service. And not only that, you have to give them all kinds of documents to open a bank account. So you have to give them a social security number. You have to give them a picture of your ID. You have to give them your birth certificate. You have to give them your firstborn child. Like you have to
Yeah,
give them.
but they're also right downtown here at my local branch, so at least I could go and talk to somebody that I know, someone that I can see in person, that I can talk to in person, that I can hand them my ID and they hand me cash back or a cashier's check or whatever business I'm trying to do. And I'm so sorry, John, but I still do not understand the appeal of cryptocurrency, and I'm still really hesitant to even invest in it myself. I don't understand it at all.
That's totally understandable. It
Can,
and
can
it
I
doesn't
jump
make sense for
in
everybody. Go ahead.
with something? Just to clarify, at least my understanding, even of how we went on the gold standard and what people think of as a tangible, physical, as Becca says, a dollar bill or a British pound. It's a promissory note, right? And it's actually on the dollar bill. I forget the language exactly. I believe it says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, um, because it is a contract, a promise by our government and private citizens to accept and honor the note as a legal tender. Now, the thing about crypto that I understand is just like when we were on the gold standard and just like when everybody was mining for gold, right? It was kind of the same thing. There was this whole gold rush because everyone had collectively decided this particular mineral, this particular rock is worth something. And that value was slowly established over time of, well, what is it worth? And the governments were the ones that determined the worth based on how much the gold weighed. And just like crypto, there was only so much gold to go around. We mined every last bit of it that could be found on Earth, which is why the gold standard had to be removed. How can you create billionaires and trillionaires when there's only a finite amount of physical money to play with amongst all the countries? So I think that was also the issue that crypto ran up against with everybody mining. And I could be wrong. John, please explain if that's true, that there was a finite amount that could be mined, hence the valuation of what it is. And I would say that the last thing I'll say, and then you guys take back over, is crypto could easily replace, in my mind, the dollar, provided the social contract existed, where everybody suddenly said, where your utility company or your credit card company, your internet company, everyone just said, you know what, we'll accept this as a legal tender, right? Because it has a value. Because really, it's society and it's humanity that decides, well, is a diamond worth this? Is gold worth this? Is that dollar representative of what's backing it worth something? And I think the same applies to crypto. If enough people were exposed to it, then perhaps crypto would switch. And the last thing I'll say is the reason I don't foresee it happening is because our government didn't create it. So they don't want it because they can't control it.
Well, but let me just jump in here really quick, John, and say on this same note, I think maybe me and John will agree, though, the government is actively discussing what they call central bank digital currencies, and I say thumbs down. I do not like it. So, but people like you that might like it because they're going to try to give you all these what I consider to be false assurances. But even the government is talking about now a central bank digital currency. But the problem with that is, unlike cash, they will be able to see kind of what John was talking about earlier, every single transaction and all the details of that transaction. But I don't like it, and that's why I don't like it. I mean, at least with cash, you can still have private transactions.
Oh, I absolutely hate the idea of a central bank digital currency because the government can shut your money off for any reason or no reason at all. Did you want to attend that protest or did you attend that protest? You can't have money for the next week. Did you go over your carbon credits? Did you use too much carbon this month? Oh, no more meat for you. No more plane trips for you because you went over your carbon credits, so you can't go see your mom for Christmas.
And literally, if you guys think, oh, that's too far-fetched, look at what they're trying to do with the climate crap. Literally, there's too many cows farting, so now we have to implement these draconian rules. I mean, literally.
But
Well,
even
I think
before,
we've learned a lot from what we've lived through the last 4 years. I know that.
yeah, that's true. I mean, even without climate, like, we can see what has already happened. And this is without cryptocurrency. But remember those protests in 2022 in Canada when the
Yep, the
truckers
Canadian
went?
truckers.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Canadian truckers. What happened afterward? They froze up their accounts.
Yeah.
And they did not have access. Again, speaking of that money that is in your bank and you think it's yours.
Yeah.
You backup probably couldn't go to the bank if you were a part of that protest and come, hey, this is my ID, can I have my money? They say, no, we cannot give you that money.
That's a valid point, but still, it sure is a lot more real to me. Alexa, stop. Every day and all day, every day than crypto is. Like I said, there's nothing backing crypto. At least I've been using the American dollar my whole life, and it's worked so far.
Well,
It's
and
worth
I don't know. I don't know if I think for a while. What do you think, John? I think for a while we'll see cash kind of function alongside cryptocurrencies of all forms and fashions. But I'm bullish on crypto, though. I think it is the way of the future.
I agree. If I'm going to use the American dollar, it would be in cash. because at least then I hold it physically in my hand and I can give it to you and
So,
say, here is this money, and nobody can stop me or tell me I cannot do that.
so what do I purchase cryptocurrency with?
You can either purchase it with dollars through an exchange, or you can do, you can go on like different websites, and you can sell items for crypto. So I sell.
So you can't buy crypto with crypto? What's good is crypto if you can't
y-
spend it on anything? I
You
don't
can,
get
but
it.
you can buy crypto with crypto. If you already have
Okay.
some crypto, you can easily exchange one crypto for another. So if you have Bitcoin and you decide you want Monero tomorrow, you can very, very easily swap your Bitcoin for Monero, and it does not take very long at all. But like I sell AA batteries for Monero. I sell crock pots for Monero. I sell heaters for Monero. I sell like bars of soap for Monero, and I've priced my items in Monero directly, and I will not take the dollar. I refuse to take a dollar. I do not want it.
Well, can you guide us through the process, like for the starters? Okay, so there's a new person who wants to start. Well, since you're so familiar with Monero, just let's go with that. Like, if we want to start, like, what's the step? Like, what you should consider? What would you need to do? Just tell us about that, please.
So the way I would do it is there's an app on iOS and Android called Monero.com, and you can download it from the iOS or Google Play Store. And you go through the instructions, you click next, They give you what's called a private key, and you put that in your password manager, or you write it down on a piece of paper, and put it somewhere where nobody can find it, in like a lockbox or something like that. And you make sure that private key stays safe. And then you go on like one of these websites, for example, like XMR Bazaar, XMR BAZAAR, and you can create an account and you can sell items for Monero if you wish. You can use an exchange like Coinbase or others if you wish, but that's not the best way to do it if you want to
See,
stay
see,
private.
See, that's how I did it though. I did go through an exchange, but I have my own personal wallet. I don't let the exchange. I just use the exchange though, because to me the benefit of an exchange is you can buy any number of cryptocurrencies. You know what I mean? You can buy them, you can swap them, you can sell them.
Yeah, I see an exchange kind of like a public toilet. You get in, you do your business, and you get out. You wouldn't like hang around and chat in a public toilet. You would leave, and that's what
Correct.
I see an exchange as. You get in, you buy crypto, and you send it to a wallet that you control and get it off the exchange, because that's how those people at Mt. Gox got hurt. That's how those people at FTX got hurt. The actual blockchains are really, really secure. What is not secure is the exchanges and the companies around the blockchain.
Well, and the reason I think that, again, just to go back, the reason we need exchanges right now is because I think, was it Becca or Anya that asked, okay, so let's say I wanted to get started. How do I get cryptocurrency? Well, if all you have right now are dollars, then you can buy cryptocurrency without, you can exchange dollars for cryptocurrency. But like John said, which I don't know anything about the second approach John said, but it's kind of cool though. You could also sell items, but you would need to have a wallet though, right? Because you always need to have a wallet, just like, because that's where you hold your cryptocurrencies.
Yes, and if you can use online banking, you can use crypto. Like, it's not that much harder. The only
Yeah, I
thing
agree.
The only thing you have to be cognizant of with crypto is keep your private key safe, because that key possession is 10/10 of the law. It's not 9/10 of the law. It is 10/10 of the law. If you don't possess it, you don't own it. And if you lose it, you're screwed. There is no, I forgot my password. Nuh-uh. If it's gone, it's gone.
Well, and
You have to be
the
aware of
reason
that.
there is no, oh, I forgot my key, my private key, is because again the whole point is you don't want anyone else having access to your money. And if they,
Yeah.
if they knew your password or whatever, they could theoretically have access to your money. You don't want that.
Right. And then tell us, okay, so let's say you have a lot of money in Monero and you want to convert it into dollars for whatever reason. So what's the process? How do you go about that?
Quickest way would definitely be an exchange. That would be the absolute fastest way. So you would send your Monero to an exchange, either a centralized exchange where you've given your social security number, an ID card, and your firstborn child, or you can use a decentralized exchange or a peer-to-peer exchange where you go on and you find another person who would like to buy your Monero with their dollars, and they will send you their dollars through PayPal or a check or a bank transfer or cash in the mail or something like that, and you will give them your Monero for that cash or bank transfer or PayPal or whatever.
And how does it work? Like, so the person sends it to you. So, and it's like a eBay type of deal. Like, so until all parties are happy, the exchange doesn't fully happen. Like, meaning, okay, you see what I mean? Like, if they send you the money, they want to make sure that you send the Monero back.
Yes,
So you don't just keep the money.
the decentralized exchanges, especially use escrow. So you deposit your Monero into what's called a multi-signature wallet, and it's two out of three. So there's you, there's the person you're trading with, and then there's an arbitrator. So if say I was trading with Anya, and she was going to send me cash in the mail, and I was going to send her Monero, I would lock up my Monero in a 2 of 3 signature wallet, and then she would send me the cash. And if I did not get the cash because she didn't send it or she lied or whatever, then I would go to the arbitrator and say, hey, Anya never sent me the cash, or I never received the cash. Here's my proof that I never received the cash. And the arbitrator would then release the money back to me. Or if Anya gave me the cash and I got the cash and I refused to send the crypto to her, the arbitrator would step in and say, hey, you got the cash, and then give her, she and the arbitrator would sign the transaction and giving the crypto to her. So there is an arbitration process in those peer-to-peer exchanges.
Well, and see, I don't know okay, I can't say I don't know anything, but I'm right now personally a little bit distrustful of decentralized exchanges, although I can definitely see the appeal. So I'll just tell you, John, and see what your perspective is on. I've heard someone tell me that the fees are a bit high there, but I have an account with Coinbase, so that is a centralized exchange. But they have proven to be one of the most trustworthy exchanges. So yeah, but I don't know anything about decentralized apps or decentralized exchanges. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of them, but thank you for explaining, though, even for someone like me that's been in the industry for a while, how it kind of works.
And
Yeah, and I still know nothing. Hopefully our viewers have learned some stuff. What about you, Anya?
Well, I'm with you, Becca. I mean, like I said before, John and I have been talking about this, and he convinced me to buy a little bit of Monero. So I have it, but we periodically check it, but it's not very much, and I just don't play with it. I don't understand it well enough, and I think it's cool. I think it's great, especially if it takes power away from the governments and it let us be more independent. I see the great
Yeah, but
value
keep
in
in
that.
mind the government is supposed to be made up of the citizenry. So that's taking power away from the citizenry then.
no, the government is far, far from the citizenry. It may have been made up of the citizenry in 1776 when it was first created. It is sure not made up of the
But we
citizenry
can
now.
take power back. The citizens can take power back. Look what happened with the most recent election. The citizens spoke loudly. And after watching that, I believe.
I
you know.
I do not. I absolutely do not. You had two choices. You had authoritarian A and authoritarian B. Authoritarian A was going to give you $25,000 tax credit for housing and blow up the national debt, and authoritarian B is going to implement digital IDs and kick out a bunch of people and also inflate the national debt to crazy levels. So no, neither of those are good choices. They're all bad. All governments all around the world are horrible and should be disbanded.
Yeah, but if it
I
wasn't for the government, we
just
wouldn't
hope.
have streets, we wouldn't have borders, we wouldn't have police officers, we wouldn't have schools, we wouldn't have any of the stuff we have here in America. And this is the best country on earth.
I agree with you, Becca. I understand your perspective, but I just hope that you won't totally, like outright refuse to use certain cryptocurrencies. Because again, I and John are in agreement that some definitely are more legitimate than others. I'm fully in agreement with that, and so I think that's why you would want to make sure, like, that you, if you ever do decide to just, I don't know, like drop $20 to buy some Monero. I think, what's the current price of Monero, John? Do you have any? Could you buy any Monero for $20? I think you can.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you did that, and I can confirm what John is saying, I am bullish on Monero. I think it is a very solid, stable, trustworthy cryptocurrency. Now, but like John said, I do agree. Others are not, because they're not based on anything. I mean, right, like John was saying, at least some of these cryptocurrencies are based on mathematics, or they're based on actual real world events, if the attendance at a concert is a certain amount, you would earn cryptocurrency, or if oil hits a certain price, you'll earn.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous, though. To have your growth based on such ridiculous nonsense, like what kind of sense does that make? Like what happened to us growing because of hard work and and overcoming, like teaching our hard work in school, or hard work at the job site, or hard work in all areas of life. That's how we've in the past made stuff. And I still don't get this, guys. And I want to make it clear to my viewers, I am not endorsing investing in cryptocurrency at all. This was just a fact-finding mission. John is supposed to be educating us. So
Yeah.
All right, well, looks like we're up against the commercial break.
I think we're gonna, Becca, let's go ahead and play the trailer for Don't Look Now.
Yes, check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Why don't they have blind people sections at sporting events? Why do I gotta pay the same price to not see shit? Okay? The Jumbotron ain't even built for me.
I am the business manager here at the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
I see you brought the film crew. Make sure you get my good side.
All right, settle down and get focused on your tasks.
I teach the art of cuisine, child.
You wanna know what the problem, the biggest problem in the blind community? It's you sighted people.
Just take a look over here.
Yeah, I don't know where that is, man.
Okay, you all need to turn off those cameras and just leave the building.
Wait, Joe, hold on.
Oh,
On your right.
you're on the right.
How would you know that the men you're dating are black?
No, this is not card member services. This is the Visually Impaired School of Arizona.
CJ, where are his pants?
I don't know.
Billy doesn't work here. He basically came with the building.
I can be the very first mayor of Blind Sylvania.
Make blind America great again.
There goes my pie.
This happens every day.
No, of
Sometimes.
course not.
All right, everybody, we are back. That was our trailer for Don't Look Now. You can learn more about the show at don'tlooknowtvofficial.com. And we've got about 15 minutes left in the show. Take it away.
Yeah, great. Okay, is there anything else you guys wanted to add about cryptocurrency?
Just one particular thing, more of an anarchist type thing. There's a song called "The System" by Canadian artist named Tom MacDonald, and I wanted to bring it up because we mentioned it earlier. He has a lyric in the song that says, "I will give you borders, they're imaginary lines. If you cross them, go to war and win when everybody dies."
Okay.
And I like Tom McDonald a lot, but I acknowledge what you've said, Becca, and I feel like I've spoken with an air of a certain amount of authority on the topic as well. However, I'm certainly not endorsing either. I am more, if you want to get involved in the world of crypto, I would recommend it, but you certainly do not have to.
Agreed.
Just be aware, though. Just be aware that the dollar is dying. So I don't know what's going to come next, but the dollar is dying.
Now, granted, President Trump apparently likes crypto, which baffles me. But I think the world of President Trump and his knowledge of money, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's something relatively new that's coming around, and we still have a lot to learn about it.
And
so I don't dismiss it completely, even though I know so little about it yet.
I think ultimately we have to decide as humanity what we believe is worth value. So humanity for thousands of years has said that this shiny yellow rock that's called gold is worth something. It is worth human labor and human ingenuity in order to, we all agree that gold has value, even though it is a shiny yellow rock, because other people in humanity also think that this shiny metal rock has this certain value. And so
but
we
it
call
is
it
shiny.
money.
It is shiny, which makes it desirable, right? Because it's shiny and it's fun to look at. But this cryptocurrency stuff, it isn't even real. Apparently you can mine it somewhere, but that still doesn't make it real. Like where do you mine it at? Is it actually a mineral?
No.
So I think the tangibility factor is really big for you, Becca.
You can.
I think it's really big for a lot of people.
There are actually
because otherwise you're just throwing your money at air if there's nothing there. You're giving however much money you give to these clowns that say they're going to sell you crypto, and then they give you something that isn't even real.
But they loan out 93 cents out of every dollar we give them to who knows where.
So you can actually buy physical crypto coins. So they're called cassatious coins. And what they have is they have crypto embedded in have you seen those Amazon gift cards where you scratch off the back and it gives you the code? It's similar. They're similar to that. And it has the private key is hidden under a hologram. And so as long as that hologram has not been disturbed or peeled away or tampered with, you can be assured that physical coin or bill or whatever actually has the value in crypto that they say that it has. And so you can actually trade crypto physically in the real world without an internet connection using those kinds of things.
Wow. Well, I want to ask you too, since this the Blind View channel, and I wanted to ask you about accessibility of those things, because even online banking in the normal world, it does not work perfectly well, as we all know. So how did this work? Can a blind person independently buy and exchange and use cryptocurrency?
Absolutely. Some websites are better than others for centralized exchanges. Coinbase is pretty good. I've seen some exchanges that are not, and I've seen some wallets that are not. Monero.com, as I mentioned on iOS and Android, is really good. And the great thing about a lot of this is that it uses open source software. So if you find an accessibility issue, you can go report that to the developers directly, and they will fix it. So it's not like trying to it's not like finding a thing wrong in the Wells Fargo app and then you report it and maybe it gets fixed in 2 years, maybe if somebody sees it.
I'm going through that with my bank right now.
Exactly. With open source software, literally, if you have the programming skills, you can fix it yourself and submit a patch, and they can integrate that patch. Or if you don't have the coding skills, you can say, hey, this is not accessible. this does not have these labels. It should say this, this, and this with labels, and they can fix it in not very much time.
Do you happen to know,
bank
John,
should be
about?
able to fix their app too. I just don't get it. So.
Do you happen to know about Crypto.com? Do you like them at all? They're centralized too, but do you know, are they accessible?
I haven't used them. I've only used them for news, like latest news updates, but I've never used their actual exchange. I've only ever used Coinbase for a centralized exchange. I tried to use Kraken, but didn't get very far with it.
Okay.
So I've used Coinbase before.
Well, I want to ask too, because Becca and I seem to be more of people who like tangible things. You know, we need to understand it better. So,
Diamonds and gold, right, ladies? Diamonds and gold.
So tell us, okay, you mentioned earlier that you sell different items using Monero. So, but you do have to buy those physical items with dollars, aren't you? Like, I mean, how do you get those items for sale? How does it work?
Correct. So as I said, I do not want dollars. So a way I exchange my dollars for crypto and not use a centralized exchange such as Coinbase, because the government can ask, hey, Coinbase, how much crypto does John Galt buy from you? And the Coinbase can send them that information. So what I do to not use them is I buy, like when somebody orders a pot, like a cast iron skillet from me, I buy their cast iron skillet and I send it to them, and they have locked their Monero, their crypto, in a multi-sig. And so when they get their cast iron skillet, they release that multi-sig, and I get the crypto.
But why would they want to do that? Like, why would they want to buy cast iron skillet from you as opposed to going to Amazon and ordering there, or going to Target?
Because Amazon only takes dollars. They could use a gift card to use crypto if they wanted to.
So what you're saying is this is just a very complicated way of doing what we do every day anyway, and it's not going to benefit us in any way. It's just going to be a real pain in our ass and cause us more hassle every day.
No, but to John's point, I can tell you it is very fast. I'm talking about once you get a wallet set up, you can buy cryptocurrency just as easily as you can make a Zelle payment or a Cash App payment or a Venmo payment or anything. It's very fast.
I want to go buy something that, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of extra steps in the way that I don't get.
So the problem,
but like John said, think of what you have to do to open a bank account.
It's so because that's one time and then forever it works. But with this, every time I go to make a transaction, I'm going to have to deal with that crap.
It's because you're not the target audience. You and I and everybody, I think everybody else here, live in a first world country where we have good electricity, we have good internet access, the government is relatively stable, the dollar is relatively stable. In places like this, crypto doesn't make as much sense. If you go to a place like Venezuela, where they have 10% inflation per day, and prices can change, like a price of a loaf of bread changes between the breakfast time and lunchtime, crypto makes a ton of sense for people like that. Or crypto makes.
I'm glad I live here then, because I won't need crypto.
Or crypto makes a lot of sense for people in Africa who have never had a bank account because they don't have access to a bank, because they don't have a car to drive miles and miles and miles to the bank in the city, and they live out in the middle of nowhere, and they can receive payments just as easily now with crypto as we can in the West.
But I think crypto also makes sense in the same way that, like, see, the way I look at it is, remember when they were just building the railroad system, right? Or remember when the Wright brothers built their very first airplane out of, bicycle parts, essentially, very, very primitive equipment. That's how I look at cryptocurrency. I think it's coming, guys. It's coming.
I agree. I think we're at the very beginning of what's going to be the future of money.
Yeah. And to Becca's point, well, yeah, I'm also glad that I live in the country when I don't have to worry about stuff like that. But again, in those unstable times, like even though it did not go down the hill as much as I was afraid it would, like 2020, like those riots in across the country, things were super unstable. That's actually right, John. That was the time when I actually finally agreed to buy some Monero. I mean, it doesn't give you full security, but I was like, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen. This country can go to hell at any moment. So, and just for the things like that, if you don't know the future, today seems stable and it's good, but we don't know what's going to happen next. Even after Trump's presidency, we don't know who comes next. What's going to happen during his presidency overall? We don't know anything. So, I mean, I'm not advocating for crypto per se either, because I'm just like you, Becca. I'm super,
I'm
kind of
suspicious
skeptical
of
about
something
it.
that I
But
don't understand, and I've been trying to learn about this for a few years and understand it, and I still just don't get it. I don't understand how people could invest thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in something that isn't real.
Hey, John,
Like
can I ask you a question?
it's based on like a belief or a promise or something.
The dollar is too, but go ahead with your question.
Yeah, but we've always used it. It's already accepted and understood everywhere.
So my question is this: isn't crypto not unlike the gold rush, that the first people that were able to mine and find it are the ones that are going to be at the top of this whole thing? So really what it is it's just another exchange of wealth where we're shifting who gets to be the rich people.
Yeah, that's the people you give all your money to buy these. They'll be
Well,
the rich
because if
ones to
crypto
buy
was to take
these
off, so here's
crypto
my point.
things.
If crypto was to take off, John, let's say, has been mining it. He understood how to mine it, no different than somebody's great grandfather was a prospector. They mined it,
Alexa,
and
stop.
now they've created generational wealth, right? And I have no way to compete with that because there's no more gold to be mined. So I guess that's what my question is with crypto. Isn't it just kind of the same thing? It's the people who keep creating these new currencies and keep mining it and trying to get out there. They're the ones that stand to be the new Rockefellers, and therefore they're just going to disrupt the system in their favor, not everybody else's.
I would like to point out that there is still gold being mined. Gold is mined at about 1.5% per year. So this would get into the topic of inflation, but there is about 1.5% more gold mined out of the ground and put into circulation every year, according to the World Gold Council. There is about 7% new dollars created every year. So when you have your dollar in your bank account, right now, it's worth, call it $1. In 1 year, 365 days from now, you can only buy 93 cents worth of items, but you still have the number in your bank account still shows $1, but you can only buy 93 cents worth of goods or services. That's why we've had this crazy bout of inflation, because during the pandemic that shall not be named, they printed 40% of the US dollars that had ever been printed into existence in like a year. And so cars went up, food went up, McDonald's Happy Meals went up, and it went up by like 40% for that exact reason, because the dollar became less valuable. You literally, your work that you had put in to earn those dollars was stolen from you. Your life's work was stolen from you and dropped by 40%.
Yeah.
That does not seem okay by me.
And I don't think so though, Gino. I don't think that all ships have sold. I used that phrase about Bitcoin, but like, John's been very, very bullish on Monero, but again, there's Chainlink. There's a few, I would say maybe 10 good ones that you can get into still for, $5, $10, $3 that could really do well.
Yeah, I would say Monero is really one of those. But you can buy any amount of crypto you want So even with Bitcoin at $100,000, you can still take $20 and buy some amount of Bitcoin with it. You won't get much, but you will get some. And I see crypto as an insurance policy against government collapse and inflation in the future. I think if you believe,
That's a good way to put it.
that the government is unstable or that instability will be more common in the future than it is today, that crypto is an insurance policy against that.
Well, and you want to talk about anyway.
Well,
Russia, right? Russia.
To throw their money away, that's pretty obvious. I still don't understand the value behind it at all. And I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Becca, it's hard for us. I get it. Well, thank you, John, so much for coming and sharing this with us.
John, I appreciate it.
It's been amazing, you guys.
I'm so happy that you have so much insightful knowledge about this, and hopefully, if not Becca and I, but other people understood more. So,
yeah,
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it myself. So
thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything they want to add before we wrap up the show?
Nope, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, it's been great. I already said what I wanted to say. So thanks again for coming, John, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, John, thank you so much for coming and sharing your knowledge and insight with all of us.
It's a subject I'm really passionate about. I hope that came across, and I'm sorry if I couldn't teach you anything.
Yeah, okay.
If you would want to chat, John, I'm on Signal. Anya can get you my detail.
Offer to our viewers, like, are there any online resources you could offer to our viewers where they could learn more, or we could learn more?
The main Monero website is getmonero, GETMONERO.org. That would be the place I would start for Monero, at least.
Okay, thank you, John. I appreciate it.
And it's good to know that's accessible, so we can.
Oh, it is
work
accessible?
with it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well,
Awesome.
ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. And you can email us at beccameadows76@gmail.com. And be sure that you've liked us on whatever platform you're watching so that you'll get notifications. And please be sure to tell your friends about the show. And thank you again. Peace out, y'all. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.